It's Friday, March 13, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Barbadian students studying at the University of the West Indies Mona campus in Jamaica expressed a desire to come home after authorities suspended classes amid COVID-19 fears. Classes will resume in an online mode or face-to-face on April 14, and all examinations scheduled for today have been cancelled. Our Kareem Smith has been speaking to some of the 160 Barbadian students who for the most part are locked in their dorms after the country recorded its first 2 COVID-19 cases.
Following a decision by the tertiary institution to suspend all classes on Thursday afternoon, some students expressed a desire to return to Barbados as essential supplies on campus begin to dwindle. President of the Barbados Students Association at Mona, Daniel Clark Whitehall, told Barbados Today that ever since rumors of an infected patient at the campus hospital circulated in mid-February, mass hysteria among students has not subsided. But the situation intensified on Tuesday when authorities confirmed the country's first case of COVID-19. While the university and the Guild of Students cancelled carnival celebrations, there had been no definitive word on whether classes would continue. In a matter of hours, Jamaica recorded its second case, and by Thursday afternoon, Mona suspended classes from March 13th to April 14th. The BSA president added that while Bajan students would avoid public spaces, he doubted that they would seriously consider fleeing the country. But second-year journalism student Shade Lewis confessed that she would rather be quarantined in Barbados than stuck on halls in Jamaica with no supplies. Ongoing challenges among international students include a lack of transportation to go to supermarkets off campus, along with a reluctance from some taxi operators to transport them for fear of contracting the virus. Kareem Smith for Barbados Today.
One of this island's major public transportation association claims it has been left out of preparation talks on the coronavirus. Chairman of the Alliance Owners of Public Transport, Roy Raphael, tells Barbados Today private operators transport 80% of the traveling public, yet they have not been included in government's planning process for the virus. He contends the industry should have been represented at a meeting of the social partnership earlier this week.
Yes, it has been worrying to us generally as a body, because often, sometimes when discussions started, we are always left in the background. Although we move 80% of the traveling public, we find that sometimes we are the very last person to be part of the discussion. Even last time that we had a hurricane coming to Barbados, there was one that went on record and saying that we were not part of the discussion in terms of the shutdown policy. But, going forward, I would like to see a representative of the industry sitting on critical discussion, even the private sector. Critical things like the private sector, we are the social partners. We are left out in these areas. And we play a vital role into the sector. Without us, a lot of the workers can't get to work.
However, the AOPT head says PSV associations were not waiting on the government and have already started to devise measures in a bid to minimize any spread of the virus within the sector.
It have a lot to do with education, and I believe based on the guidelines of the Ministry of Health, we're going to seek permission from the Transport Authority to place literature and information on our buses so that we can educate members of the public. But definitely, as I said earlier, it is a concern to us, and we are doing all within our powers to minimize the risks, particularly as it relates to the cruise industry and the persons coming out to the airport and seaport. Right? And we're going to be having a stakeholders meeting very soon to discuss the way forward.
Expected disruptions in global trade as a result of COVID-19 could result in a boost of the region's trade sector. The view of Minister in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Sandra Husbands, who called for greater use of the CARICOM interactive marketplace and suspension procedure. She made the comments during yesterday's meeting with local firms and officials from Suriname.
I'm sure that you are aware, for example, that in China a number of production facilities were closed and they've only just started resuming some of that production of essential supplies. Now, what does that mean for trade? It means that our supply chain network can be disrupted, and therefore it's imperative for all companies to investigate what is the potential impact if certain industries are closed or if countries take on a national response that prevents the continued production of inputs and exports that we're going to need to keep our businesses afloat. This is why Suriname is important. It means that if CSME is to mean anything in a crisis of this nature, our companies now have to look towards CARICOM to source alternative supplies. This, I believe, could present a tremendous opportunity if we can grab it while it is available to upscale our production when production in other places might be declining as countries develop their national response to the coronavirus.
In other news, aspiring scientists at the People's Cathedral School have been sharing their inventions. The students have been participating in the annual science fair under the theme Science, the Objective Study of God's Creation. Some of the 4 to 9-year-olds spoke to Barbados Today about their projects.
My title is Erosion in Motion, and me and my mommy did this because we thought it was an excellent idea to show people that if there's nothing covering the soil, then every day when the rain falls, then the soil is going to wash away.
My project is so my aim is to find out how much germs is still on your hands when you finish washing your hands.
My project is about liquid soap magic, and we're trying to find out what happens when this washing liquid interacts with water.
Science teacher Peter Farnham said students got their ideas from the curriculum.
We allow them to go through what they've done in class and their textbooks and to pull out ideas from there so that the projects by and large should be in keeping with what they're studying in class. But we don't discourage creativity, and people, we don't stop them from going outside the box if they want to. Because you could appreciate something like coronavirus was not on the curriculum when it was written. But somebody still did something that touched on that area.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
In news from the region now, airport security officers in Trinidad and Tobago claim their lives are at risk as the country records its first imported case of the coronavirus. We get more in this TV6 News report.
Airports Authority has received the personal protective equipment for staff, but one group is said to be still operating without it. According to Chairman of the Airports Authority branch of the Estate Police Association, Videsh Bagwandine, about 300 airport security workers in Trinidad and Tobago are exposed to any virus, including COVID-19, that they may come into contact with.
DGM security, as far back as January, the end of January, and also to the end of February. And what is said that the DGM security is saying to us, while they purchase the mask, they cannot distribute the mask because officers are not trained to put on the mask and to take out the mask. They are saying to us that the doctors have to come in to train the officers. Now, the officers cannot understand why this is taking so long, and we, the association, cannot understand why it's taking so long.
The threat, according to Bagwandine, is that much more potent for estate constables at the airport, as part of their job function involves physical interaction with travelers to ascertain whether or not a person is armed or has anything illegal on them.
And on the international front, spokesman for the International Monetary Fund, Jerry Rice, says the economic cost of the outbreak of coronavirus strain COVID-19 is still uncertain, but countries must work together to combat it.
What we have been saying is indeed international cooperation is essential to effectively address the coronavirus outbreak. Again, obviously, this is not a disease. This is not something that stops at national borders. We need to work together. We've been asking for governments to be forward-leaning. That means to take this issue very seriously, to be active, to take well-targeted and proportionate measures. Again, to strengthen public health systems, first and foremost, and to contain the impact on the economy. So it's targeted financing to support healthcare systems, to immediately help the people that are affected, and secondly, monetary and fiscal support to help the economy where it's needed most.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.